Good morning, everyone. It's Mel from Everything Marmy. I hope everyone is doing fantastic. Oh, my nose is running. It's cold. It's cold. I started watching some videos and they're like, their autumn hasn't even started, and I'm jealous because I would rather be like not in a sauna, okay? No, but definitely a little warmer than what I am, because I'm telling you, I'm freezing. Okay, Emily, you DM'd me on what this was. Okay, so no, it did not come in this plastic case. This is from Rose Colored Days, this plastic case. And thank gosh she wrote it on here. Yeah, so Rose Colored Days. Right there. I got it some time ago, and I think she was having a deal on when I got it. Now I'm reaching, okay? I'm reaching back in my memory, and I'm assuming that this pocket was provided after a certain, like, it was part of a sale. I'm pretty sure. Oh, yeah, I wanted to show you before oh no, oh wait. Like, my ADHD is like off the rails, you guys. Okay. So Emily, you wanted to know what this stuff is called. Now, this isn't the stuff I went in search of, and I haven't been sent the stuff that yet that I've ordered, that I found on Nessie Plans. So if you want to find the actual, like, clearer stuff, this comes out black. Hers is clear. But this is B, in the forces we call that, instead of a dash, tack 7010 double-sided electronics repair tape. What she's got is stationery tape. This is electronics repair tape. It does come with tweezers, however. So that is what I used. And yes, when they say electronics repair tape, it is strong. It will hold wires together. I'm not kidding you. Like, when I joked and said it'll hold your tire to the cement, I wasn't kidding. Okay, so that was the first thing. And disclaimer, you guys, I flipped this over because it needs to be washed. And yeah, I'm gonna throw it in the wash, but I didn't realize it needed a wash until I started this video. And then I want to talk about my beloved dear pens. Can we just have a moment of silence, please, in the seriousness of the world, to mourn the loss of my 3 Bic Crystal 1.6 millimeter pens that are now going to be placed in the dead pen cemetery. They are sadly empty. My purples are gone, you guys. Can we have a moment of silence, please? Oh, okay. If you don't have a dead pen cemetery, it's really, I have this, like, plastic jar. I think it had, like, popcorn from Boy Scouts or something. And I put these kind of things in it. And at the end of the year, I see what I use. And then I can gauge, or, you know, justify to myself the pens that I use. And I go through a lot. Last year, I think it was like 82 pens I went through for a year. The other thing, I was using these were the Hoo-Hoo markers, and I was using them to color in some black and white stickers and a mild liner, and then my tape runner. And I wanted to confess something to you as I was looking for the first part of my Hobonichi Cousin event, which I have not yet found. And it's driving me nuts. Look what I found. The Alatone case in blue for my weeks that I must have ordered last year. So I do have the whole set, you guys. Now, why doesn't that surprise me? It doesn't surprise me, you guys. And you know why? Because I'm a person who doesn't just do one of one thing. I do threes. 1, 2, 3. So I just wanted to make that confession because I told you guys I didn't have an Alatoni and I wasn't going to buy one. I had noticed there was a tan one on the Hobonichi site that I quite liked, but for some reason, I guess this was the color last year. So grass. And I think you noticed this when I was showing you, where did it go? In this was also at the same time. So there was a lot of like plasticky things introduced in last year's Hobonichi haul. But when I was showing you the Sharpies that are in here, I have a brown, blue, and a green. And the reason I do is for sky, ground, and trees. Sky, ground, and trees. Huh. So somehow I'm pretty predictable in my unpredictabilities. Does that make sense? I don't know if it does. But if you think it does, well, that's good, because I do too, in my inadvertently way of saying it. So it's amazing what you find, I guess, is the point, when you think you don't have something. But the funny thing is I'll lose something, and I'll go on the hunt for it. And you know what I end up finding? I find what I was looking for maybe a week ago and gave up trying to look for it because it was either that or go to a mental institution for a break. And I'm not even kidding you, because I will drive myself completely insane. Okay, so what did I plan on doing today? Well, I had been working in the weeks. I should do, quote unquote, dailies. I haven't done them for a while, but here's the thing, you guys. I will do a quick little flip here. I don't do dailies just because I should do dailies. I do them when I feel like it. And right now, I just don't feel like it. I don't even know when the last time I did a daily. When was the last time I did a daily? I put something in here. These are actually for, I think these are for the weeks. The Coffee Monsters Co. And I bought these, I'm thinking 4 years ago, because I haven't ordered from Helen since then. And nothing against Helen, it's just you learn what your aesthetic is, and this is too clean for me. It's too aesthetically calm, and my mind is chaotic, so it doesn't jive with my personality. But this one I liked because of the color, this color in particular. And I do like the cherry blossoms, so I did get like a couple of things. But the last date I worked in this book, pen to paper, no stickers, nothing, was I put an appointment down on the 18th. So almost a week ago. A week ago, exactly. And see what I mean about the pencil board? That is like the Hobonichi photos I showed you. And this is like plasticky, whereas the other one is paper. So I could laminate them. So, needless to say, all of the books are in here. I was going to do a video on the word of the day in here and where you can get those, but I'm gonna do that another day as well because that requires a lot of talking, and well, I don't think my system is warmed up enough. But what I wanted to do, since I've shown you guys some of these pages in this book here, I wanted to give you a view of some other types of pages, which led me upstairs the other day while I was looking for my first part of this avec, and gave me an idea. So I'm just going to give you a quick flip of what I was working on this morning. This is this week, and I put these stickers in here from Paper Echoes to use for next week. Even though I've got this down here, I can use that date on the other side because I have this tip in. So I thought I would use that for next week, but again, I'm not feeling that. And again, here is another one of the Yumi Kitagishi pencil boards. Again, it feels like plastic, and it starts to curve a little bit. That's okay. So now that you've seen those 3 books, I've already journaled this morning, and I ended up journaling in a Commonplace book because I didn't have my other journal like on hand, and then I came across another book, this one here. So I ended up doing some journaling in this book, which is like a Commonplace kind of book. Notes, ideas, creativity, intentions, and motivation. So this is Commonplace, and so I had some weird dreams, so I wrote them down, and then they made sense. It's really odd how that happened. And then there's this book too, which I ordered off a Temu, I think, and it is also a journal book, and this was done 2023, and there are this many pages left, so I thought I would finish this up. And it's interesting because Monique showed something on her channel that I've already ordered, and I've got a haul coming from them as well, because I'm just into all the things, you guys. I have no self-control, none. So yeah, at least I have this one, and it's cute. Isn't that cute? It's not Tomoe River paper or anything. It's just, you know, paper. Like, nothing special about it. I did a pen test at one point back here. I do have a ton of calligraphy pens. Not very expensive ones, mind you. But I was actually trying to play with one today, and it was frustrating, so I put it back in the box, and it's this cheaper one. The Jinho. And oh my gosh, you guys. All I will say about this pen is that everything in it seems backwards, and I couldn't get the ink to flow. So after loading it up with this ink here, Black Magic, Higgins Black Magic, I fired it back in here, and what makes it so weird, and I say this with love and affection, is that the instructions on here aren't very specific. It says unscrew the pen barrel, insert the cartridge into the grip section until it is locked. Maybe that's what I didn't do. I don't know. And then the pen tip is fully immersed in the ink, and the ink absorber is rotated to absorb the ink. Note, after the ink suction device is installed, it is left in the pen bar, not to be removed after the ink suction. Okay, you guys. Okay. You would think with this that you'd hold the pen this way, right? And that this would be the calligraphy pen. Oh, no, 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 no. Do you see that hole right there? The pen comes out like that. And let's find a spot. Like it's just not coming out. So, I don't know. This was recommended by Michelle over at Seaweed Kisses, and I love the barrel. But when I get kind of frustrated at things, I just put it away for a while until I realize what mistake I've made, because obviously I've made one. Usually it's user error when it comes to me. So I'll leave it until I have more patience with it and fire it over there. And it wasn't very expensive. Again, it's Jinho fountain pen. But it's really odd because you see, it looks like it should be used that way, but it's not. Interesting. Okay, so I was farting around with all of that this morning. And so, my video today that I wanted to do is show you guys some more pages. And also because I was looking at them, I'm just going to take them out here, you guys, because I brought them down. Now, up until this book, this was my 2020 Hobonichi Cousin. Look at this thing. 2020. And this baby here was full of all sorts of like hidden pockets, mystery places, pictures of myself, little like there were things hidden all over the place. Like you wouldn't know it, but like to look. And of course, like the spine broke here, but that's fine. I mean, I put so much stuff in there, and I had to remove so much out of here, you guys. And like I've done a flip before I took my channel down, but if you guys want to see this one too, let me know. I'll flip this again. It's huge. It's absolutely massive. And you'll see here how I've like put like hearts over journaling. And I did a lot of journaling in here. And I didn't care how it looked. And I'm hoping you guys are in screen. Let me just move for a second here. Make sure you guys are in screen. Yeah. So this was my 2021. And it's big, you guys. And you see, I just went over it with hearts. And some of it, you could tell how I felt just by the pages. You see? And I don't even need to know what I wrote because I can just tell the emotion, and the emotion was all I needed. Sometimes just getting it out on paper. So if you want me to do a deeper dive in this book, but this was the book that I was always chasing. This one here. She was my big one. Okay, but last year, my goodness me. Do you guys remember? This was last year. And this is why I got an Avec this year, because I was going along doing my own thing, and it was not an Avec. It was a regular cousin. Let's try this on for size here. Where is a regular cousin? Come here, you. Okay, so a regular cousin is this size. And this one is like bigger than that. So I decided, and many of you remember this, I decided, okay, I got to separate it. And I didn't really, oh, by the way, I should show you that when I was putting the cousin together with the cover, I didn't grab the Han cover. This is the Han cover. So it's a little bit bigger up here, gives you a little bit more room here. And when you flip it to the back page, you'll see it says Han. What I like about it is that if you're somebody that's going to bulk up your books, this is beneficial. And it's dirty. But welcome to my world, you guys, okay? Welcome to my world. And these are Lauren Phelps designs, and I've just slipped them down there. Okay. So I don't know if this video will interest you at all or not, but I'm doing this in the name of research. So the back page here of the A5 book, that was in this color. And the front, I decided to, when I separated the books, I used it here and here. So I was able to have a front and back cover of the same cover of the Hobonichi. And I think the reason I liked doing this is when you buy the Avec, they make it yellow and blue. I don't understand that. I don't understand why they can't be beige. But because they were yellow and blue, I like doing it this way. So this one only had like 5 months in it. It wasn't even half the book, you guys. And I'm going to make fast work on flipping this. So let's see what time it is before I even got to this, because I yap already 24 minutes. Okay, so let's make sure you guys are in screen. And like I said, this is just for those of you that have asked me about how I come up with my pages. I don't know. But like sometimes I'll see like artwork. I use vellum. I make pockets. You know, that page that doesn't like to fit properly, I'll make a pocket. I like doing that, and then at the end of the year reading that letter. Whether you put it at the front or the back. I've done that a couple of years now. I really like that. I'm going to move this big, massive one. Sticky tabs, ephemera. And then here I did... Oh, see, here I was doing my faith. So instead of word of the day, I was doing my faith in the first 5 months. And then I did the December month, even though, you know, I really wasn't in the book in December. There's January. I like this little flip down here in February. I'm not going to really talk about the stories behind everything. I'm just going to point out what I like, what I don't like, what I, you know, my normal chatter, the nothingness of being, you know, that kind of stuff. Obviously, you know, March, lots goes on in March in our family. This was when we had the totality of the solar eclipse of the sun. And I just put sticker backings. And you guys, like, let me just show you a package here. Like, I keep my sticker backings. Like, quick and easy acetate. Some are really super thin. And it doesn't matter because it makes that sound. And I'm a sound person. You know, and also you can put stickers on it and then reuse the stickers, right? So that's what I do here. Again, here. See, I don't know. I love that. And this is supposed to be, that's April. This is May, right? But May's not really indicated here. Or no, this is when okay, right, when I did surgery. Let me show you. So at first when I did it, I was only going to do like the daily pages. I was only going to put those in. And then I thought, no, because I want to be able to go back and do this. So in order to do this, I had to figure out how to put it back in. So it gave me extra pages. And so those extra pages is where I just simply decorated, which was here, which I quite like. Actually, now looking at it. And these are my balloon people. I just did it in a blue crayon. I like them. They're simple. I've got a whole like notebook of scribbles that I call balloon people. And then here comes the weeks. And I tried a lot of different methods before I just I used kits. I made up my own kits. I added Post-its. I added like color. And this is the first half, you remember. So we're in April of 2024. I love this washi tape. Are you guys even in screen? I hope you're. Nothing is frustrating for me is when I put up a video for you guys and you're not in screen. And then, you know, this is where I started, you know, throwing down the paint and saying color in your, and then there's no end to that. But I did do this here, same. I carried that over, and then I used vellum and added like cutouts from magazines, stickers. Here's January. And I did a lot of tip-ins, you guys. Oh my goodness. And tip-ins are great if you want to hide some of your journaling. You know, isn't it funny how, like, when we're doing the journaling that year, we don't want people to see, and after that, we're like, well, that was last year. I don't really care if you see it or not. Like, or at least that happens to me. Like, sometimes I'll put in, like, a sticky, like this. It's not to use. It's just to add a layer. Or, like, this is Sophia's Journals. It's a sticker shop. But it was too pretty. The color was too pretty, so I kept it. And then I still haven't committed to laying this sticker down. And don't ask me why. But she's in here. And that's where she'll remain. And then this one was the Gilmore Girls. This is when I first watched it. And I never did finish watching any of the seasons. I don't know why. I got to a certain point, but I'm not a TV watcher. I think that's part of my problem. And then this piece of art, I cut down a little bit and twisted it to the side, by Michelle Heslop. I had ordered this to support her channel. I don't know where I found her, to be honest, or when I found her. And sometimes I just love, like, the feel of, like, the clear stickers on this paper. And vintage stickers. Or I would add, like, dots and, like, another piece of paper, or like the masking tape rounds, and leave them hanging out because I like it. And I tried the whole timing thing, and you know, and then here, I don't know, I just loved interactive books. And this year, 2024, I had sort of like some health issues for sure. But at the same time, I think these books helped me a lot. They helped me to focus. I even liked putting in my papers wonky on purpose. So I was doing a lot of tip-ins, a lot of quotes. My friend Tina painted those up for me. Stickers. I took pictures from my Canon Ivy. That was my weeks. Adulting is hard. You bet it is. And I mean, look at this one. It's crazy. Like, so I love doors. Don't ask me why. I've always loved doors. And where are we? We're on January 18th. And at this time, I was really struggling because I was dealing with seasonal affective disorder in the worst way. And I was so low on vitamin D that I was taking, see what I mean about these Hobonichi envelopes here? How you can use them as pockets. That I was taking 500 milligrams of vitamin D a day. Did I care that it was January and I'm using pumpkins? Not at all. No. And at one point I started to put in like cards and everything, but then I removed them. So somebody sent me something in this card, and I removed it to my card book, but the envelope is staying because it was just in there. So I don't know, like I didn't really think about things. Oh, this is when I bought a Starbucks mug. And let me tell you, never again, because I was quite put off by that whole experience, especially for somebody who doesn't go into Starbucks. I had a bicycle fascination last year too, for no apparent reason. I love how I have all these boxes and none of them are checked, you guys. But I had 22,968 steps for January 27th. I had 21,644 steps because I knew that as much as I didn't want to walk, if I didn't walk, my seasonal affective disorder would be worse. So I did it for my brain. So I went from 16,000 to 20,000. I was going as many times. Then it was 19,000, 15,000. And another thing I didn't know is I was perimenopause or menopause, because I must have been, according to my blood work and tests, I must have been in menopause for 18 months at least, full on. And yeah, had no idea. This one I did 11,000 and thought it was a bad day for walking. And then we're into February. I love vellum. Don't just think it, ink it. I don't know where I read that from, but I know it's not mine. And then Mary Engelbert. I love her designs. And I'm already craving spring. Because, yeah, I am not a winter person, you guys. Not at all. See, I'm at 11,500. I wasn't feeling well. I still did 15,754 steps, you guys. And this is not to brag at all. Please don't misunderstand me. I did it so that I could feel better. Because I didn't know what else to do. Like I didn't know how else to help myself. And when you get desperate, you get desperate. Now you see here, I covered that up because it just seemed at the time horrible. But you know what? I've since learned horrible pages make really good pages to go back to and learn from. And so if you ever think you have a horrible page, just give it a month or two. I loved just putting down some memories. And I can tell by the pictures. And like my memory of like the visualization for me is more than the actual writing, which is really interesting. But you see what I mean by loving to putting things in wonky, the tape wonky? Like, I really try not to be quote-unquote perfect. Here I only did 6,986 steps. Why? Oh, I had to come home from my walk. That's why. Okay, so then let's see what I did today. I got back up to 16,000 steps. So it might knock me down for a day, but I try to get back up. Now look at this one. This one is when I got happy mail from Lisa from Planning with Lisa Ann. Hi Lisa, if you're watching. And I kept her envelope and some of the stuff on it. And like I said, this was not a lot of these were not great pages, you guys, but I didn't care. Lots of medical appointments. Oh my goodness. Like looking at this just brings me back. I had a heck of a year. And yet, this book. I love this vellum. No, it's acetate. I love acetate. If anybody knows where I can purchase acetate, can you put it in the comment below? I'd really like to get my hands on some. I hope you guys don't find this boring. I should speed this up because this part isn't the exciting part. I find once I got to the other book, it was exciting, but I might have to do part 1 and part 2 because there's no way I'm going to get through this in the hour, especially because I yapped for 20 some odd minutes before I started all of this. So I was kind of using it as an everything, a junk journal, a scrapbook, a dumping ground, a journal, like I love that saying, don't look back, you aren't going that way. Yeah, I was kind of using it as everything. This bag was too pretty to throw out, which was from the Angel Shop. So I kept it, and I just love feeling it because I put a sticker over top, and I love that. And then boom, now I've got color. So all of a sudden, I went from there to wow. March 3rd, color, color, color. And I don't know why, but I decided, I don't know, to experiment with more color. And so there was very much a transitional period in here. Then I started adding paint. And I look back in these paintings, even in a year, and I'm like, wow. Like, Some of them were successful, others were dismal failures, but at the same time, they all contributed to my learning of what I liked, what I didn't like. Sometimes I just stuck things down. You know, I just didn't do anything, but I wanted the page used. These double page spreads I really like doing too. And I turned it essentially into a sticker book here. This paint looked like mud. And it was my idea to use leftover paint that I had in the palette lid, and it was like muddied. So, and then I went back to like that. And then I came back with some color. And then this is the back of the book here, and where I decided to end that one. Okay, so that was part one. What time are we at? 46. Let's start the other one and see what changed here. Now, obviously, this one is much bigger because it's got 7 months in it. And this one, I gotta tell you, I love it. I don't know what happened to the Always Remember, but she got damaged somehow. More acetate. Some more stickers. Make sure you guys are in screen. Yeah, I loved a lot of these. And she's massive alone. And essentially that's what I do with my books. I turn them into sticker books. I liked putting vellum in here. Okay, so here now I'm not putting in any faith. I've moved my faith out. I've done my mermaid challenge in my monthly books. I separated the Hobonichi Cousin, and my intention was to do words here, but I never did it. And then here, I just started doing the gratitude and the walks. All the pink hearts are walks until I got to November and December, and then just stopped. And look what I do with the monthlies. I add color. I remember doing this. I did this with all my books, the A6, the Cousin, and the Weeks. I spent a lot of time with my grandchildren, and I just took Tombows and colored. That's really what I did. So there's August. I use my favorite colors. September. There's October. November. And December. And to feel this book, like, I'm very tactile, so there's just something delicious about these pages with the stickers. And visually, I love it too. The color, I love the fact that it's a sticker book, that I can look at it like a sticker book. And even the sound of the vellum when I turn the page. And it's got this vellum, has these gold bits in it, but on the back, like it's embedded, it's imprinted. So like, again, there's texture. This came out of the 2021. And again, with the layering. Loved layering. And you don't have to even write anything. Like sometimes you can express yourself with stamps. See, I got stamps from Finland here. I kept them. And River and Ink and Villa Beautiful. Like I can tell what was going on. So there was like some kind of issue in the sky. Like I just, you know, what I was dreaming of doing, or maybe I was camping out in the winter, you know. My swatch dolls that I was learning from James Burke. And then here, I was putting like pumpkins, Halloween, you know, my scary drawings. And then here's a weekly plan where I decided to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where I just jotted down what was going on as opposed to what I needed to do, because I'm a memory keeper. I'm not really a planner. More balloon people. And then the simple drawing of a girl. And then here are the weeks. And I use sticker kits, I kid you not, for almost every week in this book, I believe. Just to use them up. Because I had so many. And nowadays, like, I don't try to use sticker kits as much. Like, I'll use the odd one, but I don't like this whole every week thing. But that was what I did. You know, I felt, okay, let's go back to this conventional way of doing the weeks. Let's see what else. We're still adding color. See, I preferred it when, instead of a kit, I was like mixing and matching. To me, that looked better. This, what I call unorganized creativity. That was supposed to be a neutral one. And then here's October. It's almost a year ago. More than, yeah, no, almost a year ago. And I was still trying to meal plan here. And then there were some weeks where I was like, oh, forget it. Forget it. Even though I left like Post-its, go back and do that. I was like, no. Weekends, no. A whole week here in December, no. The week of Christmas, no. My daughter was here, I remember. No, she wasn't actually. She was already moved back. See, I'm confusing the year last year with the year before. But this one was kind of neat because I made it like an advent calendar, the final week. And then like all of these tip-ins had like writing on them. And then I put the last 2 days here and stickered the back instead of using the back of the sheet. And I think this came from in here. So that you could see that. I'm hoping you guys can see this, because I know I tend to shift the book, make you guys dizzy. So we've got 4 more minutes before the hour. I made a pocket here, and I put my Hobonichi order. No, this is from Jet Pens, I think. I even put the import tax. Oh, you guys, never ending. Start of the daily pages. This is May. And I did a lot of cutouts from James Burke in this part. I even used like Dilution book covers. And a lot of it I didn't feel like writing. I struggled health-wise. And then I decided to do Courtney Diaz again. And I'm just going to flip to the end of May, and then I'm going to put this on pause. See, I did this style again. Only I'd painted the pages. And for some reason, the sound of these pages are not the sound of my other pages. These stickers here are from... Did I write them down? She used to have the Rebookery. But she's changed her channel now. Can't remember. Pack Rat Day, No Dirty Dishes Day. So I was doing words. National Devil's Food Cake Day. Sorry, I can't right now. I'm journaling. I actually wasn't. I was struggling quite a bit. And I was doing a lot more art, I think, too, at this point. Like, look how basic my trees were. It's so neat to see. But there we are at the end of May. We're into June. And if you want me to carry on with this, just let me know in the description below. And I'll finish the book in a part 2. And there you go. So if you think your books are like horrible, guys, I'm telling you right now, they're not. They are not. They are beautiful. I'm saying this to anybody who needs to hear this today. That no matter what you think, I'm telling you right now, you are already better than you think. You are already better than you think. And the reason is that the very act of creating puts you inside of a moment. That is the point. That is the purpose. The end result doesn't matter. The very absolute truth of that sentence didn't make sense with that very in there. I take that back. The absolute truth, in my personal humble opinion, anything you do that is creating something is already part of the collective good. and it brings forth a love to the world. Now, you might think that that can't be so with everything going on in the world, but I am here to tell you, where you focus your attention and you find beauty, then beauty is raised to our conscious across the board. That's not to say we're not aware. That's not to say that we don't want change or that we can't take steps in our lives to do something. But it is to say that the more we create and the less we consume, the more, and I'm a hypocrite, you guys, because I consume a heck of a lot of stuff, okay? But what I mean by that is consume negative stuff, doom scrolling, okay? When you create your pages and not compare, you are adding beauty to the world, and you are already better than you know. And I am here to tell you that. And I don't even need to see your pages to know that. No matter what you put on paper. This paper and pen is your best friend. They've been mine for years and years and years, since I could hold a crayon. And so, folks, with that being said, remember, we are all perfectly imperfect. You are loved, needed, and wanted far, far more than you will ever know. I hope you enjoyed this. I cannot believe I didn't know I had that. Just goes you to show. And I hope to find my first Avec, because obviously it's playing with me. It's playing a game of hide and seek, and you know what? It's winning and driving me crazy. So, books, guys. Just keep making your books. Keep playing. As long as you're playing and having fun, you are addressing that inner self, that inner harmonious self that knows exactly what you need. With that, folks, I will talk to you later. Have a blessed and beautiful day. I will talk to you next time. Bye for now.